It is spring cleaning day here at the Squinty house, and I'm hiding in the basement. No, I'm not avoiding the chores. The deal is, when my wife gets cleaning a certain area, she's a whirling dervish, and she doesn't want my ass anywhere near her, nor any other part of my anatomy. So she chased me out of the kitchen for the time being. And now my job is monitoring and dealing with the laundry and waiting for her to summon me if there is something that needs to be cleaned that is far too high for her to reach or far too disgusting, because it's a man's job. Today we're taking a look at Toke's Camphor and Clove. I used to have a real hatred for the scent of camphor, but it's because as a kid both my grandmother and my mother believed religiously in a tincture called camphofenique. You know what camphofenique is? Well, my mom and my grandmother believed in camphofenique the way many Roman Catholics believe in holy water. And if you had a zit, an acne pimple, camphofenique. You had chapped lips, camphofenique. If you had a cut or a scrape, camphofenique. Painful rectal itch, camphofenique. Jock itch, camphofenique. They wouldn't make us drink it, but short of that, they used camphofenique for a lot of things. And as a kid, I began to really hate the smell of camphor. Now, as an adult, and after having a couple of different snuffs that contain camphor, I actually like the scent of camphor very much. In the tin, I am smelling about an equal balance of the camphor and the clove in the Toke Camphor and Clove. Moisture level is moderate to high. It compresses in the tin like modeling clay, and I can make a pill or a prilla or a prisa between my thumb and my forefinger. As a matter of fact, I can even hold this up so you can see the color. I'm not afraid of losing any because it's moist enough. I don't think anything's going to fall out of the tin. There it is. There's the color of it. The grind is somewhere between medium and fine. More medium than fine. It's a very uniform and silky grind, and I know from experience because I've used a lot of the camphor and clove over my snuffing career. It's very, very easy to take. I'm warming the pinch. I'm going to bust up the little prilla I made between my index finger and my thumb, put it on the boxcar, and I will say my standard toast of yours. Very cooling, very nice as it goes into the nose, no burn. Right away, the first thing you smell is the camphor. The clove kicks in just a second afterwards. But there's not a tug of war or a fist fight between the camphor and the clove. It's a case of 1 + 1 = 3. They're very nicely balanced against each other, and each augments the other, so that's fantastic. Now, I have a couple of really, well, they're minor complaints, I guess, about Toke, and a couple of high praises for Toke. I'll get to the good stuff first. My high praise to Toke comes first of all for their packaging. These tins have screw-top lids. They are made of a very high-quality metal. They do not rust. And the lid, because it can screw down tight, keeps these snuffs fresh for a very long time. The second thing I admire about Toke is their incredibly wide variety of aromas. Even with the European Union regulations, they have maintained their complete stable of snuffs and, in fact, have introduced several new ones. So even during the harsh rule of the European Union over nasal snuff and tobacco in general, Toke has stood their ground, and that's the third reason. While Wilson's and McChrystal's were both scrambling to name their snuffs something else that didn't have a flavor listed to them. Sam Gawith did it too. Their black coffee became Black Arabica, just as an example. Wilson's, I think, was the funniest. They had their honey menthol, which I dearly love. It's one of my favorite snuffs from Wilson's. And of course, bees make honey, so the first letter became B, and then M for menthol. So I'm sniffing BM. Bad marketing choice, Wilsons of Shero. Because every time I think of the name BM, all I can think of is bowel movement, even though the snuff is really wonderful. And McChrystals, Summer Harvest. What the hell does that say? Sicilian Burst? Sounds like what comes out of the end of a mafia machine gun. Come on, guys. But Toke, raspberry is raspberry, chocolate is chocolate. Roderick just didn't give a damn. Good for him. And that's the third reason I admire Toke. So it's variety, quality of containers, and the fact that Roderick has a big pair. Okay, that's fantastic. Now, what I dislike about Toke is, and not all of his snuffs are guilty of this, but many of his snuffs lack aroma persistence. You sniff them, you start to enjoy the aroma, and they're gone, and you need to take another pinch, which might be part of his business model. Not sure. The other thing is that while Toke does a couple of their base tobaccos very well, particularly their SP, their common base, I would call it, the one that they use with a lot of their Sweetie Deedy, Fruity Duty, Chocorific, Mintalicious snuffs, it's pretty pedestrian. There's not a lot to recommend it. It's bland. I mean, it's well made. As I said, the grind is just beautiful, and the moisture level, everything is perfect. It just doesn't taste like anything. And that is a fairly minor complaint, because with Toke, I guess the point is the aromas that are added to the tobacco. Oh, and one other thing I got to give Toke credit for. They were the first English snuff manufacturer that I know of to include tobacco rustica. And that amps up the nicotine on some of their snuffs, such as Toke USA Whiskey and Honey and Toke Quit. I think Quit contains rustica, maybe it doesn't, but it's a very high nicotine snuff. They understand that people who are, for instance, smokers and who are trying to quit, we need a little bit extra bump of that nicotine. I'm going to do another pinch, and I will give it my nicotine and my quality rating. And then I'm going to have to go back and grab a broom and continuing with the spring cleaning. Here we go. Yeah, it's beautiful here today. 28 Celsius. Fantastic. I like this. I like this very, very much. So I will give you the Squinty Scale first. I wish the aroma would persist a little bit longer. You really can't smell the tobacco base until those first aromas fade, and then you're left with almost nothing. So it's not going to get a 5 out of 5. It's pleasant to take. It's easy to take because of the moisture level and the grind. It's very easy even for beginners to take, even though the grind is tending a little bit towards fine. But the moisture, it makes it a breeze to take. So that's a point in its favor. So on the Squinty Scale, where 1 is this, god dang, I am going to puke, and 5 is delicious, my nipples are tingling, this is a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 on the Squinty Scale. Now, how's the nicotine? Well, the nicotine is a little bit better than I thought it was when I first started doing this review, but I have done 4 or 5 pinches since I made the first attempt to record this. So after, we'll say 4 pinches of this, the nicotine on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is almost no nicotine and 10 is way too much, this is dead center, even with my admittedly higher than average tolerance for nicotine. This rates a 5 to me. Now, if you're nicotine naive, it may rate a little higher, not much. And of course, if you're even more of a nicotine hound than I am, you'll think this is nothing. But I give it a 5 out of 10 on nicotine, 4 out of 5 on quality. Can you hear the vacuum cleaner? Mrs. Squinty is motivated. I better go. From the dank basement, hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget the contest is in full swing. Swing, I say. It's in full swing. So be sure to get your entry in. Send me an email, unclesquinty@gmail.com, with the phrase that pays. Up yours! Exclamation mark in the subject line. In the body of the email, be sure to give me your email address and a name you would like to be called if you win, because I'll be announcing the winners as I draw them. on the 16th of May. The contest is open from now until midnight Coordinated Universal Time, I guess 11:59 p.m. Coordinated Universal or Greenwich Mean Time on May 15th. One entry per person. You must be a subscriber to enter the contest, and I will check. You must be of legal adult age to consume tobacco in your area of residence. Residents of anywhere on the face of this earth, if the postal mail reaches you where you live, you're absolutely free to enter. But remember, for international winners, I will not and cannot be responsible for any import taxes, duties, tariffs, limitations. I cannot replace the prize if it is lost in the mail or confiscated by your local customs service. But if you're willing to play by those rules, send in your entry and do it soon. We're already at, I think, 7 entries now, and that's in less than 24 hours. So keep them coming in. I'm making a master list, and I will do the drawing on the 16th of May and post the video right away. Remember, the prizes in this one are really, really special, because what I am giving away are factory sealed tins. They've never been touched by human fingers or snuff spoon for that matter. They're brand new, but they're no longer available. The snuff mills that used to make them either have ceased making them or have gone out of business. So if you want to get a rarity, a snuff rarity for bragging rights on the Facebook snuff groups or whatever, this is going to be your giveaway. 3 prizes are guaranteed, but if I get 40 entries or more, I will add a 4th prize, because I want you to have a really good chance of entering. This ain't like Publishers Clearinghouse, the Irish Sweepstakes, or the Powerball lottery here in the United States. You actually have a chance to win this one, so enter. And have a great weekend. God bless. Oh, and if I feel like it, I think tonight might be a good opportunity to do another pinch, which is Squinty. So get your snuff ready. Bye.